Hey guys! So I'm actually live. So I'm actually at Dunkin' Donuts, as you see, having coffee. You guys really gotta try this new Thin Mint flavor. It's to die for. But that's not what's important right now. What's important right now is that we just had Christmas. It was awesome for me. I'm hoping that Christmas was awesome for you guys and for everybody in the world. And to all the veterans who are deployed overseas, I thank you guys for your service. To every military family, I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. A big shout out to my friend Killis, who just came home from basic training. So congrats to you, Killis. A big shout out to my friend Veronica, who actually gave birth to her baby boy last week. Or was it a baby girl? Fuck. I have really, really horrible memory. Veronica, if you watch this, I'm really sorry, but I completely forgot. But a huge shout out to you, honey, and congrats on the birth of your new baby. A big shout out to my mom, because she had her birthday a couple weeks ago on December 19th. Yeah. So, weekly shout outs. Normal shout out to one of my favorite YouTube stars, Jake TV. Shout out to I forgot. Anyway, so what's up? Let's get this show started. So, our first segment today will actually be, oh god, yes, one of my favorite segments of all time, where I actually asked you guys a question, and the first question I asked was on on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The question was, I made a poll. So, our first segment is the polls. Alright. I asked you guys, would the legalization of marijuana, both medical and recreational, bring success to Illinois? Meaning, could it be successful in helping us clear our debt? Because as we all know, Illinois is in a huge amount of debt. I recommend you do your research on it. Poll answers, and the poll came out to, the results came out to 100% yes for pot legalization in Illinois. That's that. As you all may know, I recommend you guys do proper research on marijuana. It has a lot of medical benefits. The government is, I'm not sure what, either against it or they're for it. Honestly, it's whatever. I'm not going to get into it. This isn't a political episode. If I wanted to be a political episode, I would have spent 3 months doing research on a lot of governmental issues. But I'm not going to do that because it's my show and I'm going to talk about whatever the fuck I want. So, the other poll that I asked was, but before we get into that, we're going to talk about another segment, which is one of my favorite segments because, as you all know, well, let me tell you a bit of my history with Grey's Anatomy. I actually started watching Grey's Anatomy back in 2011. It took me 3 weeks to finish all 11 seasons. I know, right? So, which brings me back to my next segments. All the tea on Grey's Anatomy's Season 15. As you all know, Grey's Anatomy Season 15 started sometime in September, and it has been labeled as the season of love, and all that crap. So much has happened so far in that season that it's beyond questioning what is the future of the series itself. For starters, fine. Spoiler alert. As we all know, Ben and Miranda Bailey, last season, Ben had a calling to become a firefighter, so he decided to join the fire squad. He is now part of the fire squad Station 19, which is a few miles down the street from Grace Sloan Memorial. This, however, does not sit too well with Miranda Bailey, as in the previous season on the 11th episode called Don't Fear the Reaper, she had a heart attack because of all the stress dealing with her personal life, her job, everything. At some point, it can get personal. All the personal stuff you're going through does get to you, and it takes a really negative toll on your body. And to be honest, that was the most educational episode because I was not aware that apparently heart attacks happen differently from women to men. Men, when they have a heart attack, they show the symptoms. It's like, oh no, my heart, and then they just drop dead. Women, the symptoms are so different. Ladies, I recommend you research this topic, because it's a lot different for women than men. But let's move forward. So, we met a new doctor called Dr. Link, who is an ortho god. Apparently, Meredith and him cross eyes. He likes her or whatever. And then DeLuca, after season 14's finale, where he just plant one on Meredith after being so drunk, it raised a lot of questions. And then the opening episode the opening of the season, we saw Meredith literally sleeping with DeLuca, but then it turns out it was just a dream. And yeah, I'm still shocked that DeLuca and Meredith might be a thing, or even Link and Meredith might be a thing. So, the question was, who do you think that Meredith Grey should end up with? Link the Ortho God or Andrew DeLuca? That really attractive man daddy. But anyway. God, I love this song. But anyway. So, are you team Merluca or Merlink? It's up to you guys. I'm leaving this up to you guys. Feel free to comment on it. And I'm still shocked about the season. I'm kind of terrified that they might end up breaking Miranda Bailey and Ben Warren. Those two were an interesting couple from the beginning, from when they started dating. And to me, they were a cute couple. But now I feel that the show took a turn where they might take Miranda Bailey's happiness away. I really can't talk about it too much because the season's still going. The season does return on January 17th, so watch out for it. It's the next episode. And yeah. To quote more on that, as I was talking about, in the winter finale, we saw many, many, many things. For one, we saw the first openly gay doctor make the move on the Twinkie resident. I keep forgetting their names, but it was the cutest little thing. And then we saw that Meredith's matchmaker patient was about to enter surgery when an electrical storm or some storm of some kind knocked down the power lines, taking Sloan Grace Memorial's the hospital's power away. So a lot of cliffhangers were left in the season. So as much as I wish I knew as much as I wish I could know what was going to happen next, I don't. The best advice I got for you guys is if you haven't watched this season yet, go and look up some recaps of the episodes. Even if you can't watch the episodes, reading the recaps is always a good thing because they're fully detailed. And so yeah. So that leaves my first few segments, all the tea on Grey's Anatomy. So, again, I asked you, who do you guys think should be Meredith's new beau? Link the Ortho God or Man Daddy DeLuca? I'm kind of leaning towards Man Daddy DeLuca because that would be interesting if the roles were switched, where Meredith takes the place of Derek Shepherd and Andrew DeLuca is the new Meredith Grey. Just think about it. But anyway. So that's all the tea and shade on Meredith Grey and Grey's Anatomy. I mean, I'm pretty psyched for it. And that was my first segment. And my second segment was pot legalization, which I'm all for it. To be honest, I still have a lot more learning to do about marijuana and all that stuff. So I may do an episode in the future about marijuana. Talk to some people who know a lot about it. I still have my research to do. I recommend you guys do research. Yeah. And here is another question I leave with you guys, and I expect comments from it. In your personal opinion, how has life changed from when you were growing up until now? Feel free to comment. Give me your best answers. I want to hear from everybody. This is a really interesting topic because I'm announcing it right now. In March, I'm forming a panel of 6 people where we're going to be discussing that topic, because it seems life in America and around the world is different. So I'm reconvening. gathering a panel of various people from various backgrounds, and we're all going to talk about growing up. It's a really weird topic. Some people like to talk about it, some don't. But it will really help us put into perspective different walks of life. Well, I think that sounds so horrible. I'm so sorry, but you know what I mean. My God. I honestly think growing up, the best thing about growing up I remember was when my mom used to take us to, well, I lived in Mexico, so my mom used to take us to this beautiful, huge mall called La Soriana. And as you know, April 30th is National Child Day in Mexico, El Día del Niño. And they celebrate children, you know. In Durango, they have this huge celebration for kids. Like the zoo's open for free, you know. There's in La Soriana, there's like clowns and kids related stuff. When I was little, my mom took us to La Soriana, and we actually got to see the zoo. We got to see clowns and all that stuff, and my mom bought us baby chicks. Yes, when I was little, I actually raised baby chicks, and I also raised a pig. I'm not lying to you guys. It's weird, but anyway. Speaking when I over the holiday, the Christmas holiday, I started thinking about my most fondest Christmas memory, and the best one I can think of was our family's posadas. A posada is like a big party, you know, like a big potluck dinner. The entire community comes to someone's house. Literally, the entire community gathers. They bring dinner. They bring piñatas for the kids. They give the kids aguinaldos. Aguinaldos pretty much is like a bag full of candy. They toss anything in it, from candy, cookies, chocolate, peanuts, all that stuff. And kids get them. Everybody gets them. And, you know, in Mexico, Christmas is normally celebrated. People tend to celebrate Christmas on the 24th. At midnight, we open presents. We wish each other Merry Christmas, all that fun stuff. My first year, when I remember, one year my family and I actually celebrated Christmas on the 25th. My mom I remember one time my mom, she made this huge dinner. My sister-in-law made dessert. I made pasta. We ate dinner. We talked. We conversed. We all went to bed. And the next morning, we all woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and wham, we opened presents. I guess that was the first traditional American Christmas I ever had. It was kind of weird, because now my entire family wasn't there. Normally, my dad's side of the family comes over, and my mom's side of the family came over. But then, as you know, life tends to have a different take on it, and it throws obstacles in our ways that we have to overcome. Once they overcome, they really show you how strong you are. And in my honest opinion, I can tell you guys that 2018 was one of the lousiest years of my life. I basically lost myself, like, to the point where, to this day, one of my greatest accomplishments in my life has been getting to know myself, getting to know who Edgar really is. And, you know, 2016 and 2017, they were really difficult years because I was going through a lot. I lost friends. I lost the first love of my life, Ray Spade. He passed away. I lost a really good friend, Ashley Harris, and it was life-changing. And, you know, I ended a 2-year relationship. We're still friends. But 2018 really was... It was a mind-altering year. It was a year that really made me question everything. From myself, to people around me, to my family, to my life itself. I went through so much depression. There were moments where I felt like I wasn't even here. Like I wasn't even alive. What really got me was really just blocking myself from the entire world, all social media, not talking to anybody, to really think about my life. And after a month of really rationalizing everything, I realized that 2018 was a lousy year, and it wasn't just lousy for me because everybody went through stuff. And if you went through something, just know that if you want to talk about it, my link for Instagram is right there. My Snapchat link will be at the bottom. I'm always here to listen. The reason why I made this YouTube channel is because I want to hear from people. Everyone, my personal mantra, whatever the fuck you say it, is everybody has a story, and if you want to tell me your story, I will sit down and I will listen. And in my 24 short years of life, I've seen many things, experienced many things, but 2018 was the year that made me question everything. This was the full on shit year. Like it was a disgraceful year, to be honest. I have a few happy memories, but most of them were negative, but the rest of them were not good ones. The only good memories was, hanging out with my friends, working at the haunted house where I work at the Dungeon of Doom. Ooh, huge shout out to Dungeon of Doom. In this world, we meet people that come and cross our paths, and some of them are meant to stay, some of them are meant to go. The Dungeon of Doom, they're my family. They're like my second family. I love them so much. They got me through a lot of my depression, because there would be so many times before I even started work, I would actually just sit down and talk with somebody about how I was feeling or this and that. And, they always encouraged me to just keep persevering and keep moving on, and I thank them for that. And I celebrated my 6th season this year at the Dungeon of Doom, and I was so content. And hopefully next year, my 7th season will be an even more rocking season. The top 10 good things that happened in 2018 are, let's see. I saw Hello Dolly, a musical that I've been dying to see. That's number 10. Number 9, I got to see Miss Saigon, the musical revival 25 years later, after the original production premiered in London, then it came to Broadway. I got to see it for myself, and it was breathtaking. That's number 9. Hello Dolly and Miss Saigon are 10 and 9. Number 8 has to be getting my new puppy, Maya the second. Number 6, yes, it's number 6. Number 6 has to be turning 24. Not everyone, the state of the world has changed so drastically that some people don't even get to see their 24th year alive, or even they just disappear after a while. And I'm happy I got to see 24. Number 5 has to be coming to the conclusion that I truly know what I want in life now. And what I want in life is to really meet the world. It's to meet everybody I can and get to know their story. And I know that not everyone's good, or not everyone's sweet and to me, or I'm going to come across people who are not kind. But I will not let that stop me. I feel like my calling is to really... I feel like for some reason one day I woke up... Think of it like this. The way I experienced finding my calling was after watching an episode of Grey's Anatomy. And this is going to sound beyond obsessive and creepy, but Grey's Anatomy played my life before my eyes. It was weird. But there was an episode where Christina Yang questioned herself about whether she should stay at Graceland Memorial and be an attending or go lead the Cardiothoracic Research Center in Switzerland, and she followed her heart. And I always wanted to... My dream is to perform and to really just entertain the world, make people happy, and also discover new stories, discover new things. So I guess, in a way, journalism is kind of my calling, because I love to talk to people, I like to get to know them, their story, and journalism is gonna be a good pursuit for now. As you all know, I also told you guys that I wanted to do drag, but the drag dream is gonna be on hold for now. It's still a thing. I still love it, but for now, this calling is what's keeping me going, and not putting me in a really tough place where I don't want to do anything. It's taking so much to just push myself to really follow through my dreams, and I'm happy that I finally kicked myself in the ass to pursue it. So that's a few of them. Number 4 has to be discovering that apparently I'm very flexible. I did not know this. Number 3, finally seeing Chicago for what it really is, a beautiful town. Despite its being ugly, being smelly and whatever, because I'm telling you, Chicago has its ugly sides, and I have seen the ugly sides, and I've seen the beautiful sides, and I've seen the awkward sides. Chicago was my first city that I've successfully seen, but now I want to see more. So maybe in the years down the line, I want to see other cities. Like my next city that I really want to see and meet people and interview people there, it's going to be New York City.
I can't wait to get all.
I don't know when that will be, but I'm hoping sometime. I don't know. Number 2 has to be my calling for journalism. That was one of the good things. And number 1 has to be still being here. So yeah. I want to hear what are some of your top 10 moments from 2018, because I'm pretty sure everybody has top 10. Or you can tell me your top 10 bad things and we can talk about them. I also have bad things. I'm not going to talk about them. I'll tell the most sad thing that happened this year was that I lost my dog. I had a black Chihuahua and she died, and it was sad. But I feel happy knowing that I raised a beautiful puppy. Unfortunately, she was murdered by another dog. It was not a cute thing. It wasn't intentional. The Chihuahua wandered off from our house and crossed the street and wandered off into our neighbor's yard. And apparently, the dog is twice the size of a pit bull and more stronger. And you guys can imagine it. I'm not gonna paint a visual picture for you guys. But yeah. In other news, my next segment is, I actually did some research, and I'm actually going to leave the links from all the websites that I found, because I want you guys to also look up these links and read all the fun facts that I found. I wanted to do some research on the top scientific achievements of 2018, which brings me to my next segments. 2018 and all that came. Yes. The links for the websites where I found all these fun facts will be on the bottom. So, let's start with number 10. Before we start with number 10, I'm going to give you the definition of paleogenetics, which is the study of the past through examination of preserved genetic material from the remains of ancient organisms. Which brings me to the number 10. It was reported, and I quote, according to Curiosity.com, it was reported on August by paleogeneticists that an ancient female who died in a Siberian cave 90,000 years ago is the first human hybrid that was the result of a Neanderthal mother and a Denisovan father. I'm sorry, I might butcher the pronunciation. As you all know, a Neanderthal was an ancient species of humans that was widely distributed in an Ice Age Europe. And Denisovan are extinct species of archaic in the genus Homo, which means human. So there were according to the research that I did, these were two species that separated from each other, and they're both the Denisovans are close cousins, are close cousins to ancient Homo sapiens. But if you want to read more about this interesting finding, the link is at the bottom. My next fun fact, which brings me to number 9, is at a website called bombmail.com, and they have more, and they do have scientific facts there too. Did you guys know that vegetables were harvested in a greenhouse in Antarctica without any earth or daylight? I found that interesting. Number 8, the bones of a bus-sized dinosaur were discovered in the Sahara Desert. I love dinosaurs. Roar. You know, I'm actually going to do more. I'm going to do an episode about that one, where I want to elaborate about that one because I'm very interested about dinosaurs, and if they found a bus-sized dinosaur, that's an epic finding. The next one, and this is interesting. And this was the website where I found this was www.icr.a.c.uk, which is the Institute of Cancer Research of London. The first fun fact is gene therapy could improve breast reconstruction. That was a fun fact. I recommend you guys go to the website and read about it. The next one was, and this one's interesting because this one is for men. Gene tests could identify immunotherapy success. And I quote, and here's a quote from the actual article. A gene test for men with advanced prostate cancer could identify those who benefit from immunotherapy, according to a major study involving the Institute of Cancer Research. So, if you have family who have cancer, I've had someone who's died of cancer, I recommend you guys to research, because every day they're always finding new studies of cancer, new findings in the oncology section. Sorry to put it so weird. So, that's fun facts that I found from the Institute of Cancer Research. Our next fun facts came from, I don't know what that is. The next one came from lifescience.com. And this is pretty interesting. The headline was Australian birds steal fire. And this is a quote from the actual article. Repeating the Greek legend of Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods to give to the mankind, several birds in Australia seem to have learned that. And this is what I found from the article. Apparently there's different species of birds that found a way to catch prey where they catch burning pieces of fire or whatever, like, you know, dry grass that's burning. They managed to figure out a way to hunt. They grab that little branch that's on fire and toss it to a side of grassy land that's not on fire to make all the rodents and all the creatures run, which make them easier to catch. So, it seems the birds are going to be attacking us next. I was even shocked as you were. I recommend you guys go to livescience.com and read that article. It is a very extensive article and it's super interesting. The next one comes from rank.com, and this was another interesting one. Gene editing allowed same-sex mouse parents to give birth. I know. And a quote from the article: pups by 2 females were healthy. However, for males, not so much. Only 12 survived, no more than 12 hours. Sorry. No more than 48 hours. Number 3. A 228 million year old fossil confirmed turtles lived without shells in the past. I know, that's interesting. Number 2. Scientists uncovered the first fossilized snake embryo in 105 million year old ember. And the number 1, which I found pretty interesting, was scientists damaged. God damn it! I can't understand my own handwriting. It sucks sometimes. It has something to do with Alzheimer's. Apparently, scientists damage caused by Alzheimer's disease in a human cells. I don't know. It has. Just go to rank.com, find the article. I'm sorry, my handwriting kind of sucks. It has to do with Alzheimer's, and apparently they killed a cell that was inside a brain cell, an Alzheimer's inside a human cell. So they damaged it or something. I don't know. I recommend just to do the research on it and look it up. Like I said, all the links will be at the bottom. And that's a few scientific facts I found in 2018 of scientific achievements. And I'm actually going to take a break, you guys, so I'll be back. Stay tuned.